a very common occurrence that we run into is people falling into the trap of their old way of thinking. It's that they think that what they're doing is right. And so their mind is not able to be open enough to learn about another concept that may be actually better for them. The arrival syndrome. Do you really know what that means? So the arrival syndrome is essentially this idea, this phenomenon that we think that we know everything already. And I'm going to direct your attention to the Becoming Your Own Banker book by R. Nelson Nash here. Okay, and I'm going to take you to page number 35, page 35, in fact, page 34. And by the way, if you don't have this book already, please go and get yourself this copy. It is a phenomenal read. It'll take you a couple hours to get through. You can find more information about it here. What is the arrival syndrome? Nelson Nash talks about the arrival syndrome, this idea of, knowing everything. And what it does is it produces a comfort zone that causes people to lapse into their old way of doing things. I'm reading it straight off the book. A lifetime of accumulated information that determines how one conducts oneself. So we fall into this trap at times where we are introduced to an idea or a concept, but our mind refuses to stay open enough to even understand what that concept is about because we already think that we know how to do things. One example he gives from the book, everyone knows this, back in the day, some people thought that the world was flat. And so imagine trying to teach someone that or let them know that the world is actually round. And if you already think that the world is flat, think how much harder it would be to convince that person that the world is actually round. Now, it's easier to do so when the person has no idea what the shape of the world is, and it's easier for them to then listen to you and believe that, okay, you're right, it is round. But if you already think that it's flat, you have to change the way you think in order to realize that it's round, okay, or to believe that it's round. And so we don't realize that we get caught in the arrival syndrome in many aspects in life. We get it in our team here at Ascendant Financial. We get to talk to a lot of individuals about this process of becoming your own banker. A very common occurrence that we run into is people falling into the trap of their old way of thinking. Now, it's not that they're saying to us that, oh, I already know how to do this, or I already know how it works, and I'm good with what position I'm in. It's that they think that what they're doing is right. And so their mind is not able to be open enough to learn about another concept that may be actually better for them. So unknowingly so, people fall into the trap of the arrival syndrome. And again, an example in the book, page 35 this time, R. Nelson Nash talks about how he had, in talking with members of the infinite banking concept, a think tank. This is an event that many advisors get to attend to, myself included. He says that we continue to notice that many are still caught up in the posture of thinking that the matter is a function of interest rates. And by the matter, he's referring to the infinite banking concept. And then he goes on to say that this is a fatal error. It has to do with recognizing where money is flowing to and the failure of charging interest to yourself for the things that you buy using your own banking system. Any time that you can cut out the payment of interest to others and direct that same market rate of interest to an entity that you own and control, which is subject to minimal taxation, in brackets, life insurance companies do pay taxes, then you have improved your situation. What that paragraph reads is a common occurrence that we notice where people get caught up in the interest rate, okay, the actual interest rate amount, whether that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7%. They get caught up in that percentage. But it's not about that. It's about this process of becoming your own banker. The infinite banking concept is about controlling the money flow. It's about controlling who gets the interest payment. In this concept, the person that gets the interest payment is not the bankers, it's not the third party institution, But because you create your own privatized banking system, you're able to capture some of that interest back. And if these words seem foreign to you, or whatever I described seems intriguing to you, then I definitely suggest for you to check out our training on this process of becoming your own banker. You can hit the link below. It's watchibc.com, and it'll get into further detail on how this concept truly works and how you could implement it in your own life. Do not fall to the arrival syndrome. Do not click away from this video because I know you're thinking it, but give yourself a chance. Okay, try to stay open and watch that training below. Okay, it's about an hour and a half. And then you can make an educated decision. And that's how you overcome the arrival syndrome. Not by simply telling yourself that, hey, you know what? I don't think I need this. It doesn't appeal to me. But by actually listening to what this is about and then making a decision after you've gotten a chance to rationally think through it and watch through what's being explained. And on that note, I'll see you in the next video.